What's up, everyone? Eli here, back for a new stuff video. Smart move would have been to wait. I have one more package coming that should be here probably within a couple days, but that would be the sensible thing to do. But I got something in today, and I was just like, nah, I gotta show this. I gotta talk about it, even though I haven't heard it yet. I know some people don't like when I do that, but that I just saying. I am going to be doing a review of it after I've listened to it enough times. Hopefully, I've been saying I'm going to do reviews for years. And goddamn, it's like the speed bump. I just can't creep over. I don't know what my problem is, but anyways, we're gonna start with vinyl today. These I got a couple days ago, and was specifically kind of happy to find this. I'm not an expert on this guy whatsoever. You know, as you might have noticed, I've been showing a lot of music lately that I am fairly new to, not something I would normally listen to. This guy's been on. I do have some of his stuff, very very little actually. He's been on my radar for maybe 10 years. He's a Japanese man. He's best known, or at least from what it seems, or I should say, well known for doing, taking classical music pieces and transferring them to like electronic music, and it's really cool. So the guy's name is, a lot of you might have already guessed it, you know, based on what I just said, Isao Tomita. This is his third album, I think. It's 1975. Pictures at an expedition. Yeah, man, this is I don't know what it is about this guy's stuff, but I just like it. He contributed to a little bit to the Cosmos soundtrack. Carl Sagan, him and along with, he didn't do as much as like Vangelis did, but he still contributed. Yeah, man, this is just really cool stuff, and for some reason I don't know. I've been drawn to this guy since before I really knew who he was. I just knew that, you know, I knew his name and that was it, and I heard some of his work, and I was just like, you know, some of his albums are very like Tangerine Dream-esque, and I just really dig it. So yeah, if you're a fan of Tangerine Dream, definitely look into the work of Tomita. At least, you know, on my lack of expertise, at least that's what I have to tell you. But I think he's really great. Picked up this promo version of Phantoms by the Fix. Cool cover art there. I've been wanting to get something from the Fix for a while. I've been kind of listening to them off and on for a couple years. This came out on '84. Very new wave sounding, and to be honest, this at least this album, I've never heard anything else that they've done, so I can't say the sound of the band, but this album sounds very Duran Duran, and at least to my unseasoned ears. I mean, just black vinyl, of course. You could have told me that this was a Duran Duran album, and I would have been like, all right, sounds like Duran Duran. I mean, it just, am I the only one that thinks that? Like I said, I mean, you know, I don't know much about this band, but I dig it. And similar to Duran Duran, these guys are very good musicians. I remember back in my Facebook days, back when I was on Facebook, it's probably been close to 5 years since I've been off there, but King Fally of Deceased, I remember him talking about this band, and that's probably what put them on my radar, because I always pay attention to what that guy says. And he posted a song, and he's like, yeah, I really dig these guys. They are like the Voivod of New Wave, is what he said. So I was like, and I totally see what he's saying. I mean, like I said, they're really good musicians, you know, kind of quirky time signatures and stuff like that. And but yeah, of course, him saying something like that, I had to check him out. And I've kind of just been digging on him ever since, although this is the only album I've ever listened to. So I'm definitely, if anyone has any suggestions on where I should go next, I figured this is their second or third album, something like that. I figured I would just go backwards and go up to the top. But whatever. Alright, now the package I got today was from my good buddy Marty from Bine Recordings. I picked up two things that I'd been waiting on. One thing that I'd just been meaning to get for like the last year and a half or whatever. And the other thing has just been released, but I've been waiting for it to be released for a while. So I'm super fucking stoked on that. No. So we're talking about the thing that I've been, you know, this has been out for some time and I just hadn't picked it up yet. But I'm super glad to finally have it. This is the 7-inch put out, 2018 probably? 2018, 2019, from his band, Glorious Dead. You might have seen this before. Imperator of the Desiccated. This is called. 2 tracks, right? Is it 2 tracks? So from what I understand, he did a bunch of different vinyl color variants, which was kind of cool. So when you ordered one, you nobody really knew what they were getting. So it looks like I got this kind of like dark green, maybe. Probably looks black on the camera, but it's just like a very, very dark, like army colored green. So yeah. Man, if you haven't heard this band, man, definitely look into it. I know there are 1.5 million different, death metal bands out there right now. A lot of them are good. A lot of them sound similar. I was when I got when I got the tape that they put out first. I'll be honest. At first, I just ordered it because it was Marty's band, and I wanted to support him. But I was fucking blown away by the music. It's definitely of the old school style, and I would say it kind of leans towards the old Swedish stuff, but done very, very brutal, raw and brutal, but in that old Swedish vein. If you're, and I hate saying this, but if you're a fan of Entombed and stuff like that, I think you're surely to dig it. And to be honest, I'm not the most massive Entombed fan. And I'm not super huge on that old Swedish death metal. I do like it, but I don't. It's not my favorite style. But I listened to that tape, that demo tape, a lot of times back to back, and this is kind of doing the same thing for me. So yeah, just if you like old school sounding death metal in general, let's just leave it at that. Just check it out. Just go to Bandcamp or whatever and listen to a song. At least do that much. It's really fucking good. A couple stickers here, which is cool. I usually put them on my van. All right. The other vinyl record that I was talking about, this is a new release. I've picked up very few new releases this year. I've said a couple times. But this is one that I've been waiting on. One of my favorite black metal bands of the last 8 years or so. Can't remember when their first album came out. Probably 7 to 9 years ago, something like that. So ever since that first album came out, I've been obsessed with this band. They have 2 albums. Well, not 3 albums now. I have not heard this one yet, so I know some people don't like when I show shit that I haven't heard, but I'm going to listen to this a lot. I already know that, and I plan on doing a review of it. I don't know if my little brain is capable of doing a review on music that is so dynamic, but I'm gonna try because I do love this band. Enough rambling. We got the new album by Canis Dearest. What is it even called? I can't remember. Independence to the Beast. Came out on Beinrune Recordings. Marty signed this band, which was kind of a shock to me, just because I had loved this band ever since they'd started, and I hadn't heard that many people, hardly anyone, talk about them. So I didn't know exactly whose radar they were on, but clearly they were on Marty's. So this is 2 guys, Todd Paulson and Rob Hames. They're from Minnesota. Inner sheet there. And they play a very bleak yet majestic black metal in the vein of like early Burzum, but they are not Burzum clones whatsoever. I would say that's definitely early Burzum, definitely an inspiration, but these guys have their own sound, absolutely. So what Marty told me that he's going to start doing with all his releases, CD releases don't sell very well with his label. So, and I think this is a fine idea. It came on white vinyl, by the way. think this is a perfectly fine idea, especially considering the price. He's just going to do all his releases on vinyl now, but he's going to include a CD copy with the vinyl. So $18 for the vinyl with the CD. You absolutely can't go wrong with that. I'm not a super big vinyl guy. I'll admit I ordered this because that's the way he's doing it. But I mean, even given the price, I would have gone that way anyways. $18 for vinyl and a CD. I mean, come on, you absolutely can't go wrong with that. So I've only had that in my possession for like an hour. I'm gonna be listening to the fuck out of it. Like I said, I really plan on doing a review. I hope I don't, back out on that plan, but I will at least bring it back and talk about it. If I'm not going to do a review, I'll at least talk about it some more in a later video. I owe it that much. So, anyways, got a bunch more stuff to show. Got some movies I picked up. Had a couple days off. I was bored. I went to the store and picked these up for literally next to nothing. Like a couple bucks max a piece. So I'm a big Hellraiser fan. I have owned the first Hellraiser at least once or twice, but when I went to grab it the other day and was like, what the fuck? Where is it? I could have sworn. I'm almost sure that I bought this movie at least, like I said, at least a couple times in my life, and I must loan it out to friends or something and forget to get it back. Anyways, rebought the original Hellraiser because I had to have that. That's just a mandatory movie for me to own. While I was there, I was looking at the other Hellraiser movies that I don't have and I've never seen, and I was like, fuck, man, I'm curious about these. I know they're probably terrible, but they were so goddamn cheap, I was like, all right, I'll pick them up. So I picked up 4 Hellraiser sequels. I've always had the first 3 Hellraisers, but never anything beyond that. So, and even by Hellraiser 2 is great. Hellraiser 3 is watchable, but it's pretty fucking stupid. And I've since watched all these. So, going in expecting them to be utterly terrible, I have new perspectives on that, of course, now that I've actually seen them. You should never just assume anything's terrible. I mean, that's stupid. I'm not completely wrong, but I wasn't completely right either. I don't know if this is going to be in order, but I'm just going to show them in order that I watched them. Hellraiser Bloodline. So this came out in, I don't know. I don't see a date here. That's not really important. So this one, out of all these, I think I might have enjoyed this one the most out of these 4 that I've got. I thought it was pretty decent. It's almost like there's sci-fi elements at times. There's different timelines. This starts off like way in the future, like 2021 or something like that, or 2027, which is like of course the world looks nothing like it will look in 2027, but hopefully fucking not. Then it jumps back in time to like the I don't know, like 1500s or something like that, where it shows the toy maker, who's the guy that created the Lament configuration, which is Pinhead's puzzle box. Goes back to the guy that created that, which is kind of cool. So what it says on the back spans 3 generations. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't want to say any spoilers. Yeah, it's an older movie. Some of you still might want to see it, but so yeah, they're basically trying to where they go. Is it traveling back in time? I can't remember, but they're trying to kill off the bloodline of the toy maker, the guy that created the Lament configuration. I thought it was an all right movie. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I wasn't bored watching it. Some of all these movies, there are stupid parts in all of it. But I mean, they're all lower budget, and I don't know, man. They all could have been better, but some of these could have been a lot worse. One of these makes an exception. So this one right here, I think this is like the 4th Hellraiser movie, Hellseeker. I think this starts after Hellraiser 3. This one was all right. by far, maybe my third favorite out of these 4 sequels that I've got. It's about this guy who he's with. He's married to what's her name, Kirsty. Remember Kirsty from like the first couple Hellraiser movies? Why she's in this, I don't even understand. Basically, at the beginning, her and her husband, they're driving. They get in a car wreck. Oh, God damn! My flag in the background just fell down. Awesome. Anyways, they get in a car wreck. She goes missing. He's in a coma for a couple days. Hellraiser is fucking with his head. I don't know. It's and he's just kind of like this regular guy. He's not anyone special. He has like some stupid cubicle job. I don't know. It's an all right movie. It's not great. Then after that, I watched Hellraiser Inferno. This one probably my favorite out of these 4. I would say, yeah, probably my favorite. And I thought this was an all right movie. I actually watched this one twice, believe it or not. So in this one, I'm going to try not to give any spoilers to any of these. They're old movies, but still, I don't want to spoil anything that I talk about. But so this one's about this shitty cop. He's a detective, Detective Thorne. You can tell that he, at one point, was an alright guy, but for the most part, he's, I don't know if it's from being a cop for so long or whatever, but he's just become kind of a shithead. He's corrupt, he steals shit from crime scenes. He does drugs as a cop. He's married and he bangs hookers and stuff, and he starts having hallucinations, that are like, kind of caused from the lament configuration. The puzzle box doesn't really have doesn't play that much of a role in this movie. This movie is almost like, even Pinhead's not in it very much. He's barely in it until the end. This almost could be a movie that's just a standalone movie. A lot of these kind of are, but this one especially. It almost, you could take the Hellraiser mythos completely out of this movie and it would have just been its own movie. And that's probably, I would imagine, that would probably be a common complaint of Hellraiser fans watching this for the first time. Because half the time you're like, what the fuck does this have to do with Hellraiser at all? A lot of I don't know. In a way, it's kind of cool how they tied it together. At times, it's kind of not. I don't know. I thought this was an alright movie. I would say if you're going to watch any of these 4, I would say go for this one. Like I said, my favorite out of the 4. The 4th one, which would be Hellraiser Hellworld, my opinion, definitely by far the worst. Pretty terrible, watchable, but pretty terrible movie. And this one is just so goddamn. It's just like somebody bought the rights to the Hellraiser name, and they just used that to draw attention to this movie. It's basically a like early 2000s teen horror movie, but with Hellraiser intertwined into it. It's pretty dumb, man. It's basically about a video game, which they don't even really talk about the game all that much in the movie. It's like a big part of the movie, yet they don't really talk about it, what it is and what it does. The game is called Hellworld, just like the title of the movie. The game's called Hellworld, and if you beat the game, you get like an invite to this party at this house owned for some reason by Lance Henriksen. So you get an invite to this party that you show up to with a bunch of other people that beat the game, and Lance Henriksen for some reason fucks with you. Not a very good movie. Like I said, I did find it watchable, but just not a very good movie. My least favorite out of these 4. I don't know. I mean, I was not excited about it just going into it. Like Hellraiser Hellworld. I just, knowing that it was going to, try to be something, they were going to try to tie modern technology into the Hellraiser mythos. Not a good idea, I don't think. So, not a great movie. Watchable. I mean, I watched it. I wasn't really bored or anything. I just, clearly it's a stupid movie, but it was good, a good junk food horror movie. That might say it all right there. So I don't know. I'm only missing 2 Hellraiser movies now out of the entire series, so I'm gonna try to find those and when I can, and then I'll have them all. I won't need them, but I'll have them. Next, we got a couple CDs, completely non-metal. So basically, yeah. Other than this was going to be a complete non-metal update. Other than those, the package I got from Marty. Yeah, this is going to be an entire non-metal. So I guess I'm glad to have those to kind of shake this up. But I got 4 CDs. None of them are metal, but hopefully, and I don't have a whole lot to say about them because it's just stuff I'm just now getting into. I'm enjoying it. I haven't listened to all of it yet. I picked up this Delirium with Karma from I think 97. Yeah, 97. So Delirium were an offshoot of the two guys from, I'm not really sure, but from Frontline Assembly. I had known them as being a pretty big name in in the industrial world. This is not industrial. This is more like dreamy, poppy, dancey electronic music. Like I said, it's not industrial, but I like it. I do like it. Whenever I pursue like electronic music, I kind of compare everything to Scorn, because Scorn was like the first electronic music I ever heard that I really dug, and to this day that's like my favorite electronic music, my favorite sound. Scorn. It was Mick Harris from Napalm Death. Started that project in the '90s. Put out a lot of it through Earache Records. That's how I got into it, because I've always been a Napalm Death fan. I'm like, finally, all right, I'll check out this electronic shit that Mick did, and I've always liked it. I don't know how to even describe it. I can't talk about this kind of music yet. I don't know the lingo. I'm just too new. So whenever I hear anything that remotely reminds me of Scorn, I like that. And this kind of did that for me. It's kind of reminded me a little bit of Scorn. So, yeah, it was a good place for me to start, I guess. I don't know if I'll pursue more of their catalog beyond this. This is like their first or second album. No, it's not. They started in like '90. This is a third or fourth album or something like that. I don't know if I'll need to get more, but I'm open to it right now. But we'll see. I'll listen to it more and see where that takes me. So I also picked up 3 more Enigma albums. I showed that Enigma album that I got in one of my last updates. I talked about how Amoeba Records does those What's in My Bag videos. They had Mortis on there, and Mortis showed an Enigma album, and he totally got me to want to go and pick up an Enigma album, which I did, and I really, really liked it. So I went to a local store. They had a sale. These were dirt ass cheap. I got all these for like under $8 probably. So I'm like, fuck, whatever. So now I have 4 Enigma albums. I haven't listened to these 3 yet, but I'm showing them now anyways. So this is their first album, MCMXCAD, whatever, however you want to say that. This is their debut. This came out in 1990. Maybe I'll talk more about these once I listen to them, because that's what I do when I get new stuff. I just show it because, I just show it to get that out of the way, and then I listen to it, and then I shelve it. Well, I put it on my iPod also. I listen to a lot of music on my iPod, but I shelve it, and then when I do my CD collection videos, by the time I get to that, I'll pull that again, and by the time I show that in my collection videos, I'll have more to say about it. So this is the second album, The Cross of Changes. This came out in '93. So the one that I bought was the third album. So now I have the first 3, maybe the first 4. I can't remember where this one came out in 2000. This is The Screen Behind the Mirror. I did read a review where the reviewer compared this to a Dead Can Dance album. So I was like, all right, pick that one up as well then. So I got 4 Enigma albums to chew on. Only one that I've heard yet. Like I said, I know that bothers some people, but I got a plan for it. I'll talk about it eventually. So, anyways, that's all I got, guys. Like I said, I have another package coming later this week that I'm just super fucking stoked on. I might just show it's only 2 items. I might just show that by itself because I'll be when it comes, I'll be so excited to talk about it. And I'm not gonna have any other new stuff to talk about by the time that comes. I don't think I'm gonna have any new things. I know I say this every time I do one of these. I don't see myself getting anything new probably for the next month or so, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I still have, tons of other shit to show, so that's not really important anyways. But anyways, Louis says hello. He's right over here. We're about to go for a walk. So thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. Cheers.